What up?
Hello.
We are here from New York City.
From New York City, from Haswell Greens, which is the home of the NYC Sooners. So we'll be having the game here with a bunch of other Super fans.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty sweet.
Hopefully you can hear us.
Setup. Yeah, hopefully you can hear us. Let us know if you can't. But yeah, obviously, I don't even know really where to start today. It's a crazy game already. Michigan beating Ohio State.
First one, Chad. What are you predicting?
It's just a wild. I mean, Auburn right now is playing Alabama. Great return there, start third quarter, or on their first possession. But big game today.
Big game
against LSU.
I'm excited. I'm excited for all you Sooners that are in Baton Rouge. My sister-in-law is there.
Yep.
And they've had a great time so far. They said, surprisingly, LSU fans have been very welcoming and helpful. Same with the general. He's down there in Baton Rouge. He said the fans have been very welcoming, very kind. And I said, well, if we start to win, give us an update on how they act, because it could change. But hopefully not. Hopefully it's a good experience all the way around for everybody.
Yeah, what are you predicting? I think we're going to win. Honestly, I think being able to run the ball like we have and like we showed against Alabama was, I don't know, maybe I'm just a prisoner of the moment, but being able to do it consistently, especially post halftime, whenever they're able to make predictions, that's for me that shows like a commitment and a belief that you can do it, and you also have the bodies and talent to do it. And if you can do that against Alabama, knock on wood, which I'm doing here on this table. LSU doesn't have the defense that Alabama does, especially in the interior. Heard Gabe and Eddie and them talk about it on their show. And LSU struggles a little bit up the middle. So I think we're going to be able to run like we were, and I think that it's going to be a pretty exciting game for Oklahoma fans, hopefully, especially for us in NYC.
Right.
What do you think?
So I'm not good at predictions, but I just go back to I would love to see a clean game. I would love to see another clean game like we had last week, where we had one turnover. Hopefully this time we can have none, but I say one turnover. We also missed that touchdown. But regardless, we know what I meant. Totally clean game. If we have a clean game, I'm pretty positive with how the outcome of the game can go. I hope our defense comes with that energy. I think they will. Playing at Death Valley at night, Shirley in its own way is very energetic, and you just can't wait. You just can't wait to play in that environment. But it's also their last home game, and they might be coming out with the same energy we came out with last week, wanting to do it for their seniors. So. Yeah,
that's a good point. Yeah, it is their senior night.
Yeah, so hopefully we can come out with a win. I think we play a clean game with a really good chance.
I think the interesting question is if Oklahoma wins and you get a bowl game, depending on who it is, you're going to you have a chance to have an 8-win season, even with all the injuries we've had. And we saw the injury report that came out. Obviously, interestingly enough, it seems like Brendan Thompson and Javonte Barnes aren't even on it. So maybe they're going to be playing, hopefully, which we need a guy like Brendan Thompson, the senior leadership, the explosiveness that he brings. We need that on our offense. So hopefully he's able to play. Javonte Barnes, I think we pretty much assume is going to play. So big for our offense there, although we all want to see Xavier Robinson more.
X has definitely earned his time and his spot, in my opinion, but Javonte had earned his spot too. So I think with having those two powerful running backs, I think that we could, make chunk after chunk after chunk and make our way down the field as we did with Alabama, who had a hard time stopping us. And Alabama ran all over LSU. So hopefully they haven't figured out that run game aspect of their defense, and we can continue to execute. So we will see.
Yeah.
Hoping somebody like J.J. Hester also has a big game. So.
Well, yeah, and he should. I mean, we the weakness for LSU, and it's funny because most of the weaknesses I feel like for most of the teams we played has been the secondary. When you hear their fans or people that cover their team talk about them, the problem is we've had trouble getting even routes developed in the secondary that aren't quick hitting routes or things that are built on tempo. So hopefully, if we continue to run the ball like we have been, our offensive line gets some confidence early. And they are able to, build off that and start hitting some deep shots, because we're going to have to do that against LSU. I think being able to run. If I'm LSU, first thing I'm doing is just stacking the box. I'm putting 7 to 8 guys in there, bringing pressure on Jackson and saying I'm going to make your receivers that are, inexperienced for the most part, or not inexperienced, but just younger and maybe have struggled some, like a Hester with consistent catching. They can beat me. Don't let the run game, what you saw Oklahoma do against Alabama, don't let that be the reason LSU loses if I'm an LSU coach. So I'm excited to see kind of if we can continue to build in what we bring today. But I think we have a chance to really develop deeper routes in this game as well. So
right, I'm hoping to I hope Sharp can have the first half like he did against Ole Miss when he was making some really big catches, and he ended the game on a huge catch on what was the third down. I mean, it was a good catch. I'm hoping he keeps that momentum. I see Mama Helms is in here. We obviously hope we see Caden because when he's out there, he's been doing some good things. Just want to see our guys play their hearts out for their last regular season home game. As far as bowl predictions, I couldn't even begin to start with that. I keep seeing so many different.
Now I'm not sure.
There was one that said Vegas against USC, and for selfish reasons, I would like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure about sometimes bowl games have conference matchups, so I'm not sure with the SEC being one of it. I haven't looked into enough what the conferences, which conferences go to which bowl games. But if it's a free for all, I would love to play USC. I would love to have another. I would love to play a team like. Who else is around 5 losses that we could maybe play, or 4 losses that we can maybe play? I don't want to play South Carolina. I would not want to play them again, which I wouldn't think they would ever match up 2 SEC teams. So, but I'm just not sure of the, who plays who in that situation. Is Michigan 6 wins now with today?
Yeah.
You might see a Michigan Oklahoma if they could match that up. That would be a pretty good bowl game as well.
By the way, Ohio State.
I mean, he's 1-4 against Michigan. I think he's 47-1 against all of his other opponents, which is an insane stat. So we'll get there in a minute. I would love to see Oklahoma USC, but I wanted to put this back up because I think this is kind of interesting to show. Mama Ree right here. If we keep it 10 yards out of time like last week, 7 wins. So yeah, they're bowl eligible. 10 yards out of time like last week, we have a better chance of maintaining control. And I think this is interesting because it shows. And I'm kind of reading into it a little bit. If that's kind of the mindset the offense is having right now, like just hey, every 10 yards, let's just be perfect these 10 yards, and then when we get there, we'll go another 10. That's kind of what you see a lot of teams when they're struggling. You got to break it down into its parts, and Oklahoma's offense is able to do that. I feel like do it really well as Alabama just scores again over here. Does really well. Is if they can just focus on the little things and make sure that those start to accumulate into a machine that's moving down the field pretty frequently and pretty efficiently. That for me is the biggest thing going into the game, especially you're playing at Death Valley. It's going to be loud. You got to communicate.
And it's like with any task. If you have a really big task to do, you don't want to look at it in its entirety. You want to look at it as a bunch of smaller tasks, and you're more likely to get it done. So if you're taking it literally a play at a time, like hey, we just got to work slowly. It was like Army against us at home. They got 3.5 yards. It seemed like every single play.
No, exactly, 100%.
So hey, if you're moving the ball, you're moving the ball, and just want to see that again.
I would still. Oh, sorry about that. I would still like to see the time of possession that we had against Alabama stay with Oklahoma. That's huge. Late in the clock, don't rush the play clock if you don't have to. Let time, milk time as much as you can, and just don't feel like you got to rush or do anything. LSU. You're still going in with nothing to lose in this game. It's not like you're playing for a playoff berth. You've already got your bowl game. You should be able to play free tonight. There's no pressure in terms of you got to win this game to make a bowl game. You luckily took care of that last week.
Unless you play better under pressure, then feel the pressure.
Yeah, feel it. Yeah. But just don't be afraid to make plays. Don't be afraid to take a chance here and there. Obviously, if I'm a player, you want to do it in a way that doesn't risk turnovers. Or mitigates them as much as possible. They're always a risk, but making sure that you keep time of possession gives your defense a break. And really lets them play in a way that best sets them up to be successful. I think is the biggest thing still, even at Death Valley.
Right, and also with the defense, especially last week, finally the offense gave them something to play for. And that's going to sound a little bit more rude than I intended to, but they got turnovers and the offense did something with it. They didn't turn it right back over, require them to go back on the field.
Right.
They got the Eli Bowen interception, which of course led to us having a touchdown. Kip Six, obviously he scored, so they had to go right back on the field. And then they got the interception at the end of the game with Woody Washington from the pressure from our Mason Thomas. And they closed out the game.
Yeah.
They didn't go back on the field at all. There was
7 minutes
left. Yeah, there was 7 minutes left in the fourth. And they just drove down the field and worked that clock. And that is what we've been wanting to see all season. So I was really happy to see that happen. Love for that to happen again tonight, obviously. So I really I'm just big on turnovers. I want us to win that turnover battle.
13-0 under Britt Venables, and we win the turnover battle.
Yeah, so we've won every game, and hopefully this is no different when we win the turnover battle. But then when we've lost turnover battle, what was we lost every game?
Lost, I think so, yeah. Maybe not. Maybe we might have won. I'm just not recalling if we have.
Regardless, good things, bad things. So.
Yeah, it's clear if you want to win, you got to win the turnover battle. What I'm interested in seeing is how they come out this game. I hope that they just. I'm of the mindset that when you're struggling on offense like we were, and it's not, even though we played well against Bama, it's not like we blew the doors off them in the second half either. We played well enough to win, obviously, and they did what the offense needed to do to win. But it's not like you're sitting here, dropping 60 on teams or 50 on teams. So I'm interested to see how they come out this first drive if they're on offense first. I hope that they just stick to the run and they don't try to do this, trick pass stuff from, play action. Maybe if you think you have it, by all means, I guess, like I said, you're play free, but don't try to do more than what you can do. Let them stop that first, and then then you make adjustments. Don't stop yourself before they actually prove that they can stop you. Is a big thing that I'm kind of looking for starting out the game. But other than that, I think you just let Jackson do what he can do, and maybe you might see some Michael Hawkins too.
Right. No, I mean, you would think that a night game in Death Valley is what football players that play in the SEC look forward to. Like it's something that you get excited about. And I'd be willing to bet that a lot of those guys, when they saw we had LSU, especially towards the end of the year, like, I hope it's a night game. So you're hoping that alone, like you mentioned, pumps them up versus making a lull from last week.
We win the show.
Sorry, we were around New York today, so we didn't get to watch every single game.
I get what they're saying that, I guess, because there's really nothing riding on it. But I mean, it's a ridiculous. Yeah, it's a ridiculous thing. So no one's interested in it. That's a lie. I mean, it's going to have crazy. I guarantee it'll do crazy ratings. It's going to be a good game.
The only issue is it's going to overlap with Texas A&M.
That's true. Yeah, and that will have SEC title.
And that does have SEC title aspirations there. So I feel like that could pull some of the ratings. But on brand alone, regardless, OU and LSU are going to pull numbers, and they're going to pull fans.
Hey, love to see it.
Hey, Stacey, you keep calling those the fish that turn.
Is it Stacey?
Yeah, is it Stacey?
I was about to say swalling. Yeah.
No,
my bad. Stacey, love it. We'll love to see it.
She's got power.
Who are the players to watch for the Crimson and Cream tonight?
X.
Honestly, it's the I think offensive line starting out. Xavier Robinson's I think shown what he can do, which is be a really good running back and run to open holes if they're there, and even make something out of nothing. If the offensive line can still produce like they've been producing at least these last couple games, then I think you're going to see something pretty special from Oklahoma. If they can't, then that's whenever you start getting into issues offensively that kind of stall yourself out. And what I think is most important about that, I would look for a couple early passes maybe from Jackson, something to get him in run, and then that spread that pushes the defense out of the box, be able to start running the ball more efficiently, and it just lets them know that element is there. Obviously, you're going to have the same guys too.
They had that quick throw to Thompson. That was fast. That was definitely planned.
If you remember the Texas game, maybe it was the Auburn game or Texas game, the first play was a quick throw out to him, and he ran it for about 12 to 15 yards. Texas, it was a quick toss, and he just runs out 12. He gets about 12 yards on the first play. Wouldn't be surprised if they do that today. Maybe not on the first play, but just something that shows them look, I'm going to get the ball moving. Especially Auburn and Alabama are fighting each other right now, which is wild to see.
Especially if he is truly good to go. I hope they're not rushing anything back.
Right.
Again, we are not insiders, so we can only go through what we.
She's an insider. If they're wrong, it's her fault. Blame her 100%.
So I'm hoping he is ready to go because he did have that big play and unfortunately got hurt on when he's literally sacrificing his body for his brother out there on the field trying to get a block. Fantastic block, by the way.
Yeah.
So hopefully it was just a sprain, but I say just a sprain. I've had a sprained ankle and those things suck. So.
Yeah, it does sound bad to say. The high sprained ankles are.
Yeah, no, I've had to wear the boot. I've had to do the ice treatment. I've had to do all that stuff. So they're not fun, and I'm just hoping he's ready to go. I don't want them to. I don't want to say force him to play either because he's a competitor. He's going to want to play.
Yeah,
but I hope he is ready to go. Period.
This is my brother. What's up, Sean?
Hey,
good to see you. Hope you're doing well. See you. Boom. I am, and then hi from San Diego. Nice. We're opposite sides of the coast. Yeah.
You probably still have some sun.
Yeah. Well, you probably still have some warmth. That's for sure. Yeah. I mean, it is not warm in New York City. There are many things New York City is. Warm is not one of them right now. It is the exact opposite.
That's not great.
We're going to dinner last night, and I mean, first off, I made T take her big jacket. She wanted to take this little frilly thing that was fancy, and I'm sitting there, and all the guys listening will understand this. I'm sitting there like, there's no way. I'm not, because here's the thing. I can't survive if I give you my jacket because I'll die from coldness or from freezing. Not to be dramatic at all, but I would have died. So I was like, T, you got to wear the big jacket. And about midway through, she looks at me and goes, thank you for making me wear this.
I did. I thanked him. I thanked him.
It was big of her.
I wanted to be stubborn because my other jacket was fancy. The pictures you saw on Twitter of me, though, in my dress were not what I had. A big coat. I just sucked it up for those photos.
And would you say that I could be a professional photographer?
He's learning.
Or no?
He's learning.
Oh, sorry, we're getting handed these. Put on.
Thank you.
Boom.
So cute.
These are cool.
Can you see
Wait,
it?
I'm opposite.
Chad's are better than mine.
Oh, sorry.
Ice Schooner, New York.
I heart New York. That's awesome. It's actually, so we've already met a few people here, another couple on vacation from Oklahoma. I think the actual president of the group is in Oklahoma right now,
got
funny
some
enough.
moves behind us. They
Got some moves behind us, yeah.
They're ready to go.
It is actually really, really neat. It's been really fun.
So if you're in New York City ever during football season, come to Haswell Greens. It's off the 52nd.
Yeah, it's awesome.
52nd and 7th, between 7th and 8th on 52nd.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Right off Times Square. It wasn't a long walk for us. So.
I think that if you got George Center from Southwest
Those are
Florida,
cute. Thanks, Stacey.
Awesome. Thank you, Stacey, who I know now that is Stacey. That's awesome. Xavier Robinson, does he probably start? I think so, unless Javante Barnes is back. But I don't think that they would. I just think with Xavier how he's playing right now,
you kind of have to
keep riding him. Yeah.
Anytime a player's hot, you got to keep him in the game.
You got to.
But not to say that you don't have two running backs in at once and you make it a 3.
Sam, you talk about an upsetting season. This goes, and then we can get to our predictions and then kind of wind it down a little bit. But you talk about an upsetting season. I do have a bone to pick with a lot of not really a bone to pick. I'm not like one thing that has bothered me about how a lot of people cover the team that do the pregame shows and all this stuff that are on you is they'll say like OU it's a tough year in the SEC to win games. OU's figuring it out this year, and I'm like that. We're missing 8 players, 9 guys sometimes.
We were predicted to have a 6-win season with all of our guys in.
And that's where my issue were coming, and yours as well. It's like, no, that was not, if we were healthy, I think we'd be, if not in the SEC title game, I mean, we'd be right there with Texas or A&M, one of them.
Right.
And I think we're seeing that.
We have a hard schedule.
But you look at the games, we were in every game except South Carolina. And again, all those change when you have all your guys.
Texas early, and then
until you have back-to-back fumbles. It was 7-0 right with like 4 minutes in the second. Right. But anyways, that's always been my problem because now we're seeing, like Oklahoma State, for example, had everyone back. They didn't have the issues of injury that we've had, and they've gone 0-9 in Big 12 play. That's almost so bad it's a miracle in and of itself. It's almost unbelievable. It is literally almost unbelievable.
Right. And part of me wonders if they just really gave up.
I think you would have to. I think you would have to.
It's so bad.
It's somewhat. You almost have to try to be that bad.
Like you were watching them and you were almost like rooting for them to do something.
Right.
He was just like almost felt so bad. He was like, come on. Like I forgot what happened with OSU, and he was like, come on. I'm like, who are you cheering for? He was like, I felt bad. That's what it is. Tough season, folks. I mean, we get it, but not that bad.
Yeah. Any Buckeye fans hanging out? I bet not. They are probably wanting Ryan Day. The problem is they're in a tough spot with Ryan Day because he gets you top 5, top 6 recruiting classes every year. He gets you in the college football playoff every year. Or he will now. Well, maybe not now with 2 losses. I don't know. I mean, if Penn State gets in and they don't even make I think Ohio State's in.
I don't know.
But
it's a tough year. I wouldn't want to be on the field.
And who do you replace Ryan Day with is a big question because you don't want to make a rash decision just because you're so upset losing one game. But also I understand why. I mean, when we lose Oklahoma, it is kind of like when we lose to Texas. A lot of it has a big impact, even though I may not realize how much of an impact it has. This tea's about to drop half our stuff on the floor here, but there's a lot that kind of goes into that. But it'll be interesting to kind of see how Buckeyes do that. The Buckeye fans handle.
So we have a text-in message from my mother because she doesn't know how to send questions through the
what does it say?
It says, "Does the bar have very many OU fans on game days?"
It's pretty full right now.
It's getting rather full. Ooh, for still being 40 minutes out. It's first come first serve for seating. So to me, in my head, that says I would be pretty full.
Yeah.
From the videos I've seen on Instagram, it looks like it's a good time, but it also probably depends on time of year.
Yeah, like who shows up, all that, what it is. And I think it'll be good.
New York. People are always traveling here. at the time of the year. So, I mean, I'm hoping for a good crowd. We'll update you on Monday how it ended up being. So.
Absolutely. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun to watch it here. We'll let y'all know post game how it went. Thank y'all for joining a little bit. T, give me a prediction on score.
I don't like that.
I don't want it to be a hard prediction, but give me score, first touchdown, and how many first downs we get. I'm gonna go 23-10 Oklahoma. I think first touchdown is Jackson Arnold QB run, and then we get 11 first downs. No, 21 first downs. Sorry. What do you got?
I'm not even going to try to do first downs.
That's fine. I really don't even know if that's
a lot of them. I think LSU will score 17 because they're at home. I want to think 14, but they said a home game at 9 gives them a 3-point advantage.
Yeah, well, home games, yeah.
Home games give them 3-point advantage. So give them 17. For us, clean game.
Okay.
So how we played last week.
Yep. We're
21-17.
21-17. All right.
Maybe 24-17.
Well, what you got? Pick one.
I don't like picking.
Pick.
24-17.
24-17. I was 23-10. I have more belief in our defense and Tyranny. That's fine.
It's their senior night.
Great.
I feel like they're fired up. I hope they don't score 17.
It's going to be 17 first downs right here. It's a good call. Harry James Taylor. Love that.
Stan gets it. I think
Stan
he gets by with it.
Those LSU fans have been drinking all day. That is very true.
We were out shopping all day, and Chad at one point was like, "Hey," I said, "Let's go to these shops." He goes, "Let's just keep in mind."
Yeah, we're not,
we've already spent.
we
still have.
We got loads of payoff and stuff.
Days.
So
yeah.
Anyways, it's actually been a lot of fun. We've actually done pretty well. I'm proud of us. Go us. All right.
If there's one thing I know, I am a barbie chopper. So.
That is true. Cheers. Which is nice. So, all right. Well, thank y'all for joining. We'll see y'all post game.
Thank you guys for joining for our pregame. We're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do post game. They have live music here after, but I don't know exactly how long after. So we might be able to sneak in a pregame. Hopefully, otherwise post game. Sorry. But we'll see you guys. Cheer loud from wherever you are from. We love you, Sooner Nation.
Yeah.
Boomer.
Thank y'all for watching. Boomer.